Welcome back to the Garden Duo. I'm the Veggie Garden Guy. Today we're going to be talking about soil prep. This is specifically for in-ground gardens and what you want to do in the fall to make sure you can plant early in the spring.
Here we are, first thing in the morning, going to get the tiller. Go down to your local place, get the tiller. It's a great time, isn't it, McCoy? Yep, good times.
So what is tilling? Tilling is actually when you're going to go 10 to 12 inches deep in the soil, and we're going to use this Honda rear tine tiller to get really deep into the soil and break that up. So why do you even want to till? Is it just a manly thing to want to get out there and play in the dirt and break it up? No, there's actually a different reason. So this is where we're going to put one of our two cutting flower gardens. You can see this right here. I can't even get into it with this shovel because it's so hard and compacted. This has been tilled already, and you can see I can get in really deep. You can see the grass in it that's going to break down. One of the main things with tilling is you want to put organic matter into the soil. That will break down and make your soil better because it'll be more fertile. What do you want to till into your soil to get that organic matter in there? So this is just grass clippings that I've gotten from the yard. Just sat them over here, let them dry out, and now that's what I'm going to be using as one of the parts to put into the soil. And this is my leftover horse compost that I used to put in my yard, but I'm now going to put it in the soil and give it some more organic matter, till it in with the grass. What are some things you don't want to till into your soil? First thing, you don't want to till anything from your garden that you've put pesticide or herbicide on, because that can get into your ground, it can contaminate your ground. You don't know how long it's going to take to break down, and so you want to leave that out. The other thing is any type of fruits and vegetables from your garden that you haven't composted already. The reason being, the seeds will probably sprout in the ground, and then you're going to be trying to get those out of your flower beds and out of the stuff that you're tilling into the ground. It can be a real problem, so don't do it. One of the things you don't want to do is put fertilizer in when you till in the fall. The reason being that fertilizer will grab onto the water and it'll actually get flushed out. And so make sure you don't fertilize in the fall, but fertilize when you plant in the spring. Also, you want to know where your sprinkler lines are. You're going to be going 8 to 10 to 12 inches deep, and when you do that, you may hit a sprinkler line. That's going to create a huge problem for you, so make sure you mark out where your sprinkler lines are. So, one cautionary tale. You don't want to till if your soil's too wet. How do you know if it's too wet? You're going to take a handful of it, squeeze it together, and if it breaks up into clumps and cracks into little pieces, then you're going to be just fine. If it stays together, it's too wet and you're just going to make a muddy mess. So, biggest thing, how do you even till? One thing, you want to make sure you go rent a tiller. Why? Because you're going to have a bunch of junk in your soil, rocks. These are nails from when our house was built. You don't know what's under there. When you rent it, make sure you get insurance. It's not that much more, and it's going to save you a bunch if you hit a big problem. Last thing on how to till, you want to make sure that you're only taking about 2 to 3 inches at a time, not a bigger chunk than that, because it'll bog down the tiller. Let me show you how you do that. So how do you control the depth? This thing right here, it's the depth guide. There's a metal bar that actually goes under the tiller back here, and when you pull out this pin right here, you push this up, and that will determine how deep the tiller can go under and into the ground.
Dang, that dirt is kicking my butt. Now I know why farmers don't need to go to the gym.
Now we got the ground softened up, we're gonna put the organic matter in. This is the compost, just lay it over the top and then till it right in. Organic matter's tilled in, ready for the fall, and you're also going to be ready for the spring because you're going to be able to get in earlier. Hope that was helpful. Just like that, we have all of the beds ready. We got the compost in, we got the grass in, tilled it in, and it's all ready for next spring. We're going to get the bulbs in, and we'll get it all ready to go. Don't forget to subscribe to the Garden Duo. Also turn on the notifications. If you have any comments or questions, put them down below.